What's going on, Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome to the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS podcast and live stream for Friday's 8-game main slate. James, end of the week here, 8 games, heading us into the weekend. If you're looking already on the screen, you'll see at the quite a bit of questionables at the top of the player pool today, which means, of course, that we will have quite a bit of injury news to come. We did have Kyrie Irving practice in full the other day. We also had Kyrie practice in full, but already, not Kyrie, Luka practice in full, but he's been already ruled out. But you see Tatum, Davis, Curry, Lillard, all with questionable tags. Some of these are probable, I believe. Let's see.
Davis is the only one probable.
Yeah, okay. Davis is probable. So
Lillard is too.
Yeah, Tatum's questionable. So again, big slate, a lot of injury news. James, you're on the playbook today, so you'll be the one having to sort a lot of these out. But after you get by those top guys, there aren't as many ruled out. Golden State, we know Draymond Green's suspended. Andrew Wiggins is still out, so maybe bump up there to Looney, maybe Kuminga. Jared Allen's still out for Cleveland. They got that spot against Washington. Mark Williams is questionable against Philly. But for the most part here, not too much unless something new pops up throughout the day.
Yeah, there's Spurs news as per usual. Mostly their secondary pieces too, but they're got some question marks and guys ruled out there. So yeah, there's some interesting statuses up in the air. So when we shift our focus over to Vegas, John, I'm not sure we've seen a total this big this year. But correct me if I'm wrong, 247, is that the slate high? Is that a season high?
Yeah, that might be a season high.
It opened at 248 in Golden State, Atlanta. Opened at 248. It's been bet down a little bit to 247. Atlanta, 3.5 point road favorites. We know Golden State struggles on the road. No Draymond Green. I believe we got a report yesterday that Steve Kerr said Steph Curry should be good to play. I don't know if that, obviously things could change. Yeah, Steve Kerr said Steph Curry is expected to play on Friday. So
thumb soreness feels like something he could be able to play through there.
Yeah, after scoring 50, his thumb hurts. So that be on the lookout there. But 247 is crazy. No Draymond on the back line of defenses there. We know Trae Young's been playing well. So that is incredibly enticing of a game environment. Memphis, San Antonio is a very good game environment. And I was looking at some pricing earlier. Memphis prices dipped quite drastically from where they've been. And they get the Spurs here. 8.5 point favorites on the road. 234.5 spread. The Spurs' main guys are pretty much healthy. So
yeah, I was gonna say it looks like Collins, Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones, all good to go here. So
yeah, so maybe a competitive setting there. 230 in New Orleans, Houston getting 5.5 at home. Those are the only 3 totals in the 230s. Boston and Portland slightly below 229.5. Boston 4-point favorites. And that's it. Everything else is kind of just 220 to 225. Philly 10-point favorites in Charlotte.
Sure.
Joel Embiid currently the Vegas favorite to win MVP, John, for the first time all year. He has overthrown Nikola Jokic. So
sure, Kendrick Perkins will be happy to hear that.
Sure, Kendrick Perkins will be very happy. And I'm sure using Joel Embiid will make us very happy as well.
JoJo versus Charlotte. He is your top price player on the slate today of those that are healthy. Coming off of a 70 fantasy point game against Cleveland. One game against Charlotte this year. He went for 53 actual on his way to 76 fantasy points. So
is that good, John?
Good luck to Nick Richards today.
Is that good?
And whoever else they have behind him. All right. Point guards here. Steph Curry, we talked about it already in the highest game total on the board. He's at 10.5. Kyrie Irving expected to play against the Lakers tonight. He's at 10.2. James Harden 9.6. Trae Young still at $9,500 though.
That's crazy.
Opposite side of that spot. Your top 4 healthy guards today. I mean, Kyrie's still questionable, but he got a full practice, and I'm assuming he plays against the Lakers here. So, can never assume anything with Kyrie Irving, but let's, for the sake of this conversation, include him because he did practice in full, and it is the Lakers matchup that he is active. How do you rank out Curry, Irving, Harden, Young today?
Are you just not? You're just excluding Dame because he has Boston.
Yes.
Okay. I would rank. I mean, per dollar, Trae Young's the best of all of them, right? I mean, I think that's like.
Yeah, I don't know if Harden gets to what we need against Charlotte. He certainly can.
I mean, he definitely can. It's just crazy how good they've been together, right? Embiid and Harden, they've been amazing. I'll go Trae, Steph, Kyrie, Harden, but I think all four are in play. You can't ever discredit the fact that James Harden plays 40 minutes a game.
Sure.
Like, he's on the floor more than all of those guys. So
yeah, I was trying to see the last time there was a blowout here, and he really doesn't come off the floor. So,
he just does
32 minutes against Houston. Well, they won by 19.
32 minutes is the fewest he'll actually.
And he had 55 fantasy points in that game. So maybe you're right. And you know what? To Charlotte's credit, I mean, with Oubre back, they definitely have an offense that can put points on the board. So, yeah, maybe Harden deserves it. But I think we're in agreement. We go Curry, Young, Harden, Irving?
I actually went Young first.
You went Young first, okay.
Per dollar, he's the best of the group.
Yeah. I mean, again, coming out 59, had 60 the game before that. I'm with you, 100%.
Why is he not 10K yet?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the game logs.
Yeah. Why was he ever really below 10K? So, all right, mid-tier range. We had D'Angelo Russell return the other day. Now Anthony Davis will be active for this one. Russell did not live up to the expectations against Houston.
Brutal.
Tough 34 minutes for him, only 18 points, 31 fantasy points at 8-4. You have T. Rose here at $7,900. Point guard only, Terry Rozier, $7,900. McCollum at 77 against Houston. KPJ at 75. Garland down to 74. Where are we staking our flag here in this mid-tier range?
So Russell will be contrarian because he let 78% of the field down the other day. But Dallas plays no defense. So, you can get to Russell. He's been great, excluding that game. The 3 games prior, he was really good. Back-to-back, legs tired, 5 for 17. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Going back, you play that 10 times out of 10. He's teamed to himself against Houston, right? Mm-hmm. You just play that spot. Rozier, I think, is fine for tournaments. I think he makes for, if a good stack with either Harden or Embiid. If you get there. Probably not going to get to McCollum. It's a good spot, so you can in tournaments. KPJ is on one right now from a fantasy perspective. Yeah. He was even talking shit to Dennis Schroeder last time they played. They've kind of been good, too. They beat 2 good teams. I'm just going to throw the Lakers in the good team category because they look like a good team since the trades and stuff. And I wonder if the Lakers can acquire an all-time great player
like Anthony Davis?
Puts them over the top.
LeBron James?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that guy. Yeah, I wonder if they can acquire him by the time the playoffs come around.
We'll see.
But they beat the Celtics and the Lakers in back-to-back games. Both teams going to the playoffs. Boston, could end up being the 1 seed potentially. So Houston in their bag a little bit here. I think Kevin Porter is a big reason why. 40 fantasy points back-to-back games. I don't think anyone's going to play him, but
big breakout scoring game for him in that one too.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely helps aid there. So I'm with you. I do like the opposite side of that spot a lot with McCollum. I know recent performance the other night against Lakers, not great, but coming off 47, 46, 48. I know you mentioned that Ingram being out definitely contributed to some of that. Ingram did. I think he did return, right? The other day.
He played. He played.
43 fantasy points for him, but I'm still fine with the matchup there for McCollum.
Yeah, it's a good matchup.
And maybe he's a little contrarian at that price point as well. Under 7K guys, are we in on Tyus Jones here at 67?
Yeah, that was kind of what I was alluding to. We got a Tyus versus Trae Jones matchup here. Yeah. The brothers meet.
It's been a little bit since he's paid it off, 3 games, but
they haven't looked. So they blew Dallas out in the second half. He chilled. Desmond Bain went crazy. The Miami game was horrible.
Yeah, Bain got ejected in that game for throwing a low blow.
Yeah, Bain punched Kevin Love in the nuts. Me and you both had a low-owned Jimmy Butler that was gonna go for 60 and didn't ever come back in the game. That was a brutal beat.
I had an awful same game parlay there where I had the Heat minus 2.5 and Jimmy Butler over 23.5 points. And he finished with 23. Finished with 23. Never came back in the game in the fourth quarter. Needed one.
Yeah, would have had 30 actual and 60 fantasy, maybe 35 for.
Oh yeah, let's price check Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler price check here.
Probably 8,700. They're not on the slate.
Where? They're not on the slate. There we go. I was like, wait a minute, where is he? Here we go. Not on the slate tonight.
Not on the slate. No, but I would play Tyus at 67 against.
I still want to play Jimmy Butler. He's not even on the slate tonight.
I know. That's just how excited we are for the next time the Heat are on the slate.
Tomorrow.
I would get to Tyus. I know he's played poorly.
Okay.
Some of it's been out of his control. Shot attempts are still there. Last game we're just chalking up to. I mean, last two games were really just us.
Listen, we were not wrong on Brogdon there for a bit. He started that game off like a firecracker against Minnesota, and then down the stretch it was just Jaylen Brown. So that is certainly something that can happen every now and again. The Celtics have two all-stars legitimately on their roster. And in crunch time, it was Jaylen Brown that took over that game, so Brogdon wasn't overly involved, but gotta love 31 minutes after 29 minutes. Do you pay the $5,800 this time around against Portland?
And Tatum's questionable, right?
Right.
So, that could even be more of a reason to play Brogdon, because then they only have Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
And then we know Brogdon is without Jason Tatum, Brogdon's the second scoring option, right? That's
they probably start Grant Williams.
You would think, or they start Hauser, right?
Well, Grant Williams actually got rotation run in that last game because we never know when he's going to play. 26 minutes against Minnesota.
Okay, so they probably start Grant, but that doesn't mean Brogdon won't still play.
No, for sure.
My assumption would be Brogdon is their de facto second option.
Yeah.
So that would really put him firmly in play because Portland is terrible.
Yep. It would probably be a Derek White day if Tatum.
It probably would be a Derek White day, and he's. The only thing I'll say is I feel like everyone is so when someone's out for Boston. Derek White is always the first person in for some reason. People's.
So he still starts for them. He starts at the shooting guard spot.
I know, but it's never we're never Brogdon is the guy with the highest usage rate.
Yeah.
Of them all, of all their guards, of Brogdon, Smart,
right,
White. I would still, even if Brogdon didn't start, I would still probably have more interest in him because I feel just best about him coming in the game and
I think White's a great pivot.
White is a good pivot.
He's 2 games removed from going for 37 and 38 fantasy points in back-to-back. So,
dude, he was having an amazing.
He was player of the month, I think it was, or player of the week, or something like that. When Tatum and Brown were out, or when Brown was out, or whoever it was. Brown and Smart, right? When Brown and Smart were out.
Brown and Smart.
Derek White was scoring 20 a night. So, because he's a great player, and Brad Stevens is an absolute genius trading Romeo Langford for him.
That's crazy. And a second, wasn't it Romeo Langford and a second round pick for Derek White? That's all.
Yeah, honestly, it might have been a first, but it's
rich always get richer. It's the Chiefs thing in the NFL. Why don't all teams make deals like this?
Sure.
Why don't
Yeah. Why can't all teams just trade third round picks for Pro Bowl tight ends, right? Why can't? Yeah.
Hey, nice.
Little Darren Waller shout out there. If you
I like Smart too, by the way. Smart would be a good. Smart's fine.
If you read my playbook and the core plays, you would have saw Austin Reeves in there the other day.
Nuts.
41 fantasy points. I had him in my lineups at 4% rostered. So he's up to $5,600 and Anthony Davis is back.
Yeah.
But 35, 29, 19, 28. Again, I understand that some of those games also no D'Angelo Russell. But against the Pelicans, there was Russell and Anthony Davis active, and he went for 28 fantasy points. So, I don't know. I think Austin Reeves is good. You hate to see the 6 and 5 shot attempts in those 2 games against the Knicks and the Pelicans. Absolutely hate to see it, but fills up the stat sheet. Probably too expensive to get to here, but Gonna be another like 1%er tonight. So, could be a contrarian play there. Then we go down to Trae Jones. We weren't sure what he was going to be like after missing a bunch of games. 32 minutes.
Yeah, I love that.
So good to go here at 51. He mentioned playing up against his brother. Branham's back too, huh? Whole team's healthy for San Antonio.
Yeah, it's Bates Diop. Who's out? Bates Diop is questionable.
Graham's out.
Graham is out. Bassey we know is done for the year. I think Langford is out, which doesn't surprise me. I'm looking at Trae Jones' minutes because they went to overtime. I want to see if he played. I think he played the entire overtime.
Sure.
He did. So he played 27 minutes in regulation.
Okay.
So if this game, I think that's probably like a safe assumption, right? 27 minutes is probably where like we project him at.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
28 minutes, maybe.
Seems fair. All right. So any other value guards for you?
I mean, you've been shouting Monty Morris quite a bit.
I have, yeah.
He's been good 2 of the last 3.
Not the best matchup for him, but the minutes should at least be there, most likely.
And the price is great.
Yeah.
Like the price is undeniably great. Yeah, I got some interesting value I'll hit you with. Blake Wesley continues to play big minutes. And by big minutes, I mean 23, but he had 30 fantasy points last game. And now there's no Devontae Graham. So Blake Wesley just settled into 23 to 24 minutes. I think that's viable. The Bulls are interesting. Caruso missed last game, and they're listing him questionable for this game. He did not practice yesterday. They started Ayo Dosunmu. He played 27 minutes, but that's not who we're interested in. Pat Bev, 4,600, 27 and 41
back-to-back double-doubles with rebounds?
What? No, did not have a double-double last game.
Oh, right. Doubles and rebounds.
Can't score. But there's obviously the chance that he can score.
And he fouled out.
Kobe White had a really big game, 3,700. And we know Kobe White shoots the basketball a lot. 28 minutes, I think, was the key there. Yeah. 3,700 off the bench. So, depending on Caruso news, we're going to get Beverly. If Caruso's out, Beverly and Dosunmu is going to start, and Kobe White's going to be their primary guard off the bench.
Okay.
So, those would be options. I played McKinley Wright the other night as a dart throw. He was fine. If there's no Kyrie, I would... So, like, Jaden Hardy was terrible in the first half, and they were splitting time with McKinley Wright. Yeah. And then Jaden Hardy did Jaden Hardy things in the second half.
Can you pay $7,300 for Jaden Hardy if no Kyrie Irving tonight?
I don't know. I was going to ask you the same thing, and I know he was really good in the second half, but he...
Here's the thing that I like about Jaden Hardy is shot volume.
The volume is crazy.
Yeah.
The volume is crazy.
We talk about this all the time. I will take a guy that will shoot, over a guy that we need to be efficient. Yeah, right? Like, if he goes 9 for 25, he got you 47 fantasy points that day.
Would you pay it?
If there's no Kyrie, I think so.
Lakers are first in pace. So, like, that's the thing. Lakers are second in pace, right? So, it's like, it's a great spot.
He won't be 50% rostered today. I'll tell you that.
No, he won't. And wait till you see. I saw Josh Green's price too. Wait till you see his price.
The 8K?
No, he's 6,500. But like, we're not used to seeing any of those price tags.
All right, shooting guard here. Ant Edwards' price continues to dip a little bit here. He's at 53 or more
92,
fantasy points.
Huh?
Yeah, 53 or more in 3 straight games, going up against your Chicago Bulls that can't hold the lead.
They cannot.
They cannot hold the lead.
Oh my god. And shout out Alonzo. I hope he's able to come back in his career. It's been a brutal stretch for him.
3 knee surgeries, dude. That is.
Did you see? And the cartilage. They're removing cartilage from one knee to another. I feel like that's never
good. If anything, though, today's medical science is incredible. So you never know.
Sure.
Anthony Edwards, though, against your Bulls last time they faced just one game, 38 minutes, 67 fantasy points, 37, 7, and 11 in that
Pretty good.
Game. So, Decent. Won't discount Donnie Mitch if you want to go there. You can. I won't play him at 9K against Washington, but always a guy in tournaments. Always a guy in tournaments you can play. Another tournament play, JB popping, absolutely popping.
All formats of Tatum.
And maybe no Jason Tatum tonight. Yeah, absolute smash. There was a stat the other day. I don't know if I shared it with you or if I shared it with somebody else, but in the fourth quarter of the last two games, Jaylen Brown's averaging like 15 points a game. Jason Tatum is 0 for 6 with like 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter of the last two games. So JB is absolutely taking over late. He's 8,900 too. We're gonna have a price dip after 57 and 54 fantasy points here, man. Yeah, I'm in on Brown at 89. Zach LaVine, again, you want to go there? Guy's been one of the most consistent players on Chicago of late. He is at 88. Bradley Beal, still super cheap. 60 fantasy points against Detroit. Still the same price at $8,200. Cleveland, sure, tougher matchup. He did go for 40 fantasy points in 41 minutes against them. I imagine that was an overtime game, or he just didn't come off the floor. But still, 8,200 for him. Great spot. DeJounte Murray hasn't really come through, but this is the highest game total. Could have just some ownership potentially there. Bane against San Antonio, not just to like rattle off the top 10 guys, but like all of those guys are viable plays today across your lineup. So
yeah, I think if I were like to key in on,
if you were to pick
anyone,
two, you had to put 2 in your lineup today. Who are they?
Can I say 3?
Sure.
Edwards, Brown, Bane. Those would be the 3. And then obviously
Edwards, Brown, and Bane?
Yeah, I think Bane is criminally priced.
Okay.
He was 8,500.
Yeah.
And he got ejected, and they lowered his price by like in the best matchup on the board.
Yeah.
Spurs are dead last in defensive rating.
He's averaging 35 fantasy points against them in 3 games with Ja Morant. So,
I mean, dude, it's like, look, there's no reason he's under 8K without Ja. There's no reason Brown isn't a 10K player if Tatum sits.
Yep.
And there's no reason Edwards' price should be decreasing when he's gone for 50 in 3 straight games.
Correct.
Like, if I were to pick any of them, like the other guys are fine. Like, we know Mitchell has a ceiling, LaVine has a ceiling, Beal is just in a really tough spot, and like you said, Murray's in a game that has 700 point total.
Yeah.
All viable. I think the other 3 guys are just a little better.
Yep, I agree with you there. What do you think about Clay at 71 here?
Yep. Is it going to be a Clay day or is it a Steph day? Which, they've alternated. So by that logic, today is Klay Thompson day.
Yeah.
So, obviously the eligibility is goated. Like, he has the shooting guard, small forward eligibility. That's awesome because he hadn't until recently. So I definitely have interest. You got to have interest in this game in some capacity because there's 247 points projected.
Agreed.
Like, that's just
agreed.
That's just absurd.
Oubre's been really good at 72, 4 straight games over 30 fantasy points for him. Vassell's at 66 again, still not really paying off the price tag. So not a spot I'm totally looking to take a part of here. Murphy, even with Ingram back, went for 34 fantasy points. He's at $6,100. I don't know if you want to pay that with Ingram back though. Just because.
I don't. I usually don't.
Yeah,
he's been good though. He's been good. I'll give him that.
Seems more likely that that one doesn't come through for us. Any value at shooting guard for you?
Any value? Malik Beasley in tournaments, right? He's a high upside guy. I can't imagine the Hawks are gonna just give Bogdanovich $68 million to play 20 minutes game.
Like, maybe that contract came out of absolutely nowhere.
Maybe so.
For a guy they play 23 minutes a night, they gave him all that money.
$68 million, yeah. $17 million a year.
Do you think that's an indicator that Trae Young's gone in the offseason?
I don't know if it's Trae, but something's changing.
John Collins. They have DeJounte kind of locked up, don't they? And then now they just extended Bogdan.
They just have a logjam at the wing. Murray, Bogdan, Hunter, Collins, Sadiq Bey. They're a mess. Like, that's a mess.
Yep.
So maybe him in tournaments again. 2 billion points in this game projected, but other than that, it's just the few guys we've mentioned at point that have point guard eligibility too. Kobe White, Blake Wesley.
Another 34 minutes for Corey Kispert.
Corey Kispert. I think
Kuzma
wasn't Kuzma out in the Detroit game. I believe he was out. He started, I think, Kispert.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's going to play 30 minutes regardless because that's just kind of what they're doing with him. But, like,
yeah. Yep.
4,200.
Yeah, Denny played 28 minutes in that Detroit game, so I think it was probably Kuzma that was out. All right, small forward. JT is at 10-8. Would you pay for him?
No, not in current form.
Okay. DDR at 87. He's been good. Little price bump here.
6 made 3-pointers in the last 2 games. Look at DeMar DeRozan expanding his game at 34 years old.
They need him to.
The NBA needs to. It's math. We talked about this.
It's true.
If the other team's making 3s, you're making 2s. You're going to lose.
I mean, we always say anything under 9K for DeRozan we're interested in. So.
Yep. He's playing 40 minutes a game, too.
Yep. Ingram's maybe one of my favorite plays in the slate. $8,100 against Houston. I mean, you talk Bane pricing. Ingram was upper 8Ks there before he went down. So, I'm good. I really, really like Brandon Ingram tonight.
Same.
One of my favorites there. Keldon 75, Kuzma 72, Kyle Anderson $6,900. Our boy, Kyle Anderson 38 fantasy points. Almost another triple double. 15, 7, and 8. Mid-tier range pretty strong here at the small forward position. We haven't even gotten to Josh Green yet. So
yeah, Anderson's definitely benefited from D'Angelo Russell not being around, just like being able to play make more.
11, 12, and 8 for him.
Yeah. He just has the ball more, He's fine. It's not like the best price tag because we need 35 fantasy points, but like he's gotten there. Kuzma, I think, is kind of mispriced. 72. There's a big time ceiling at that price tag.
Going up against Lamar Stevens,
Yeah, I mean, it's like a tough matchup against Cleveland, just like pace wise and typically good front court, but like 7,200 is very cheap for Kuzma, so I could definitely get there for tournaments.
Yep, I'm with you there. KJ Martin still playing over 30 minutes tonight, 30 plus and 3 of 4. For him there, DeAndre Hunter, always a guy we consider looking at 5K because he just plays a bajillion minutes. Mm-hmm. We talked Josh Green. Hayward's kind of a tough spot for him there.
The value, I was looking at value last night because I was like just messing around building lineups. Small forward and power forward value
kind of lacking.
Unless like we get Tatum news that he's not playing, or obviously something else, there's not a lot of it. Like Hauser didn't play last game, but he had been playing 20 plus. Grant Williams hadn't been playing; he played 20 plus. Like
I don't really understand what happened with Roddy against Miami.
Yeah, how he had such a good first half and then
got off to a great first half, struggled in the second half, only 18 minutes, and didn't play any of that blowout run in the fourth quarter. They played like Kenny Lofton over him.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, would you go back against San Antonio? 3,800?
I don't know.
Like a fool me once, fool me twice sort of scenario here. Like, okay, fine. If you do it again to me, that's on me, I guess. But like, nothing has changed in their rotation. Right. Guys didn't just come back. I think he just maybe got off to a slow start, or maybe it just wasn't a good matchup against Miami for him, and they went in a different direction. But very surprised. He had all 13 of those fantasy points in the second quarter. He just came out firing. So, a slate where we say there's not a lot of value. He's 3,800. He had 2 really good games in the last 3. Who played over Lamar Stevens? Chetty?
Chetty. Yeah, he played 30.
Did you play Chetty again?
Yeah. He shoots a lot.
Hey,
that's all we can ask for. Like, he's going to get on the floor. He's going to take
$3,400.
I mean, he's taken 10 threes in back-to-back
30 minutes, back-to-back games. I think Chetty's the man here.
Yeah, Chetty is probably the play. I mean, we know there's no Jared Allen.
The other thing we like about Chetty is that he has slate-breaking potential.
Yep.
He's not a guy where it's like, well, he does this. No. Like, we've seen Chetty Osman go out there and score 45, 50 fantasy points before.
I'm trying to figure out how they, handled this rotation because they also only played Isaac Okoro 24 minutes. So they just played small, I guess. LeVert played 36 minutes in that.
I saw he got bumped to $5,400.
Yeah, he had 40 fantasy points, and it's hard to think he's fourth fiddle essentially because Mobley's there.
Washington will play bigger though, so they won't play small.
They'll start bigger, but What is
They
Gafford?
bring Denny in. I mean, Denny's bigger forward.
6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
Gafford's playing 22 minutes. What is Chetty? 6'7"? I think Chetty and Denny could.
Yeah.
That could be like a. Chetty is interesting.
I think he's in my lineup today because there's not any value. And if he plays 14 minutes, then that's my own fault, I guess. But
unless something opens up, he's.
But I mean, like, granted, that first game. So I guess this is where we run into a little bit of trouble, right? So that first game he played 30 minutes. There was no Allen, no Mitchell, right?
Yeah, no Allen, no Mitchell.
But the second game, there was just no Allen. He still played 30 minutes. So that's where I am just going to lean. Maybe no Jared Allen means Chetty Osman's playing 30 minutes.
Because they have Mobley playing exclusively at the 5.
Correct. So, talking through the thought processes, people. We'll run. It's a good spot, too, against Washington. So
yeah, it is a good spot.
Not a tough matchup.
It is.
All right, power forward. I mean, Porzingis at 86 is definitely appealing.
Yes.
You know, whether he's up against Mobley or he's up against anybody else. I mean, he's averaging 36 fantasy points in 2 games against them anyways. So I do like Porzingis here at $8,600. On the flip side, though, I mean, you want to just plug and play guys. I think Evan Mobley is in just an absolute smash spot today as well. Yep. As we're building through this lineup here, I almost feel like we don't need to go on like an Embiid. We will, but I don't think we need to. Or Steph. Like, there's guys in the 8K, 7K range that we do like. There's a couple of value plays that we're interested in. So this could be a fair and balanced day, but where it's like you're playing Trae, Mobley, Bane, all guys that can go for 40 or 50 fantasy points anyways, in this like not in this like tier B range. So
I agree.
Absolutely love Evan Mobley at 76. Jaren Jackson at $7,300 coming off of a big game, doing some things on the road as well lately, which is good to see against San Antonio here. Where are you going next? Where's the next mid-tier range pull you?
I don't really want to go anywhere else. I just want to play Mobley and Jackson.
Okay. I like Sohan at 56.
Yeah, so no, I was mostly kidding, but like it's very hard to ignore again, like Mobley with a front court to himself against Washington and Jackson for again no reason being 7,300.
I thought Mobley was going to triple double because he had those 5 assists at like halftime, and he didn't get another assist after that. But still, like going up against Embiid and considering the game Embiid just had as well, like,
yep,
really, really good spot.
And he stayed out of foul trouble. Like he's so good. I'm with you. Sohan's going to play 30 minutes in a competitive setting, and the offense has obviously been improved. But you can play Horford. He continues to be pretty solid outside the Houston game. Like that was the one. You know, obviously the shot attempts can be wishy-washy at times, but I think if Tatum sits, you feel better about Horford's shot attempts.
If Tatum sits, there's a lot more rebounds to go around.
Yeah, there is a lot more. I would almost pencil. I would suggest to you to bet on the Jaylen Brown double-double.
Yeah, it's probably
double prop. Now that you can.
Tatum being questionable, they probably don't have any Boston props out there right now.
Probably not.
John Collins played 27 minutes.
Yeah, it's. What do we do with John Collins, right?
No Draymond Green. John Collins is playing 29, 28, 30, 27. I think you go back. He's still mid 4Ks.
In a 247 total. In a 247.
Yeah, I think you go back. I think you go back to it. I don't. He just must be disinterested or something. Like this is not a John Collins we're used to seeing, but if he gives you the 11 and 9 that he did against Boston, like he hits you. So
46. He has been 4K like every slate. This is just crazy.
Does Kuminga start tonight? 4,400?
Maybe.
They didn't sign Lamb, right? So
they did. So they did.
Okay.
They have officially signed him. So I assume it's Curry, Clay, DiVincenzo, Kuminga,
Looney.
Yeah.
Kuminga at 4,400.
Yeah, if he's starting, he's going to be very popular. So that would be our like obvious.
Yep, spend down there.
Yeah, that would be our.
Aldama did get 21 minutes. Didn't do much with it. I don't know if you want to chase that again.
He's fine. He's fine if you predict foul trouble. Like you take a guess at foul trouble for Jaren Jackson.
Anybody else down here for you?
Pat Williams had a pretty big game with Caruso out, 25 minutes, 32 fantasy points. If you want to chase that, 5 stocks, you can, but I don't think you need to.
All right, center. JoJo's up top. You don't need to tell us why. He's facing Charlotte.
Well, he's just been him. Yeah. No matter who's up on the opposite side.
Great blocks lately too. 14 blocks in the last 4 games. Anthony Davis at 10-7 against Dallas. Like,
they're playing no defense. None. Dallas is.
This is the reason where it's like, why, like, you obviously Joel Embiid can probably go for 100 fantasy points tonight, but like Anthony Davis could probably go for 100 fantasy points tonight against Dallas if Kyrie Irving is active and keeps Dallas like competitive in this game. Like, who's shutting down Anthony Davis? He's coming off 35 and 17 against Portland. I mean, against the Pelicans. So
yeah, I mean, they're both. It's a super elite tier.
Yep.
That's why they're $2,100 and $2,800 more than the next highest price center.
Yep. Zach Collins back in the lineup. 6,500 is coming off back-to-back 40-plus fantasy point games. Gets the 6'6" Xavier Tillman center matchup for him. So I like Collins. I'm not gonna go Şengün tonight. Probably not gonna go Gobert or Vucevic.
Şengün's been good.
Yeah, I just don't like. I don't know. There are other prices for me here today.
He's just been. I'm kind of indifferent on it. I think he's fine for tournaments, but first time we've seen him under 6K under 7K since January 13th.
Yeah.
And he's had 30 plus fantasy points in 5 straight. He's been playing 30 minutes a night because he's kind of staying out of his own way in terms of foul trouble.
He's probably low, Ron. He's probably low. Mobley's right above him, and Collins is below him.
And if of course if Kyrie sits, everyone's gonna run back to Christian Wood because Christian Wood had a monster game.
He played 28 minutes, so that's huge.
I'm gonna look. Let's see if he played all of overtime. He did. So he played 23 regulation minutes.
What was his second half minutes?
Second half minutes, he played his first shift was for 12 minutes, and then he played the final minute of the game.
Okay.
He played.
So he was basically a even minute split, first half, second half, and then overtime?
Yeah, he played 11 minutes in the first half, 12 minutes in the second half, and then he played the 5 overtime minutes. So he is playing 23 to 24 minutes. Like, he is. Good luck getting anything more than that.
You've talked backup centers Mamu, but he's up to 4,600, so it's kind of tough.
Yeah, that's them pricing him as a starter.
Yep. All right, let's build lineup. Do you want to start with Chetty? Start with the value?
Hold on.
What?
Brandon Wofford started for Jeremy Grant last time out.
Okay.
Played 40 minutes.
Okay.
He was 4 for 12. He did a lot of good things on the floor.
Sure.
He's just kind of been in the rotation to begin with. If there's no Jeremy Grant, Trent Wofford's going to play big minutes.
I don't like that he's center only, though.
Yeah, that kind of stinks.
Yeah.
I
don't see him playing over other guys, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know why he literally started at power forward. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I'm just gonna put Chetty in at small forward or power forward, and we'll just kind of.
And then Kuminga.
Kuminga, yeah.
Those are probably our two.
All right, so Kuminga at power forward, Chetty at small forward. All right, who is our center? Davis, Embiid. Are we going mid tier? Mobley.
Well, what does it look like if we go Trae at point guard?
Okay.
With one of those guys.
Yeah. Trae, Chetty, Kuminga's 65 a play.
If we go AD.
You wanted Bane at 74 is 63. If we did Davis, it'd basically be 4,900 a player for guard, forward, and utility. So Trae, Bane, Osman, Kuminga, Davis is 4,900 a player.
Do you think we need to go AD or
I don't.
I
think we can go Mobley. That's basically it's 59 a play for a guard, forward, and utility.
I don't think Caruso plays if we wanted to play Kobe White. I mean, I don't want to assume he's out, but he was ruled out with an illness, didn't practice yesterday. Obviously, he could feel better, but like he could go there. Trae Jones is 5,100. One of the Celtics guards. They're cheap, but we don't know if Tatum's out, I guess. What do we have? Guard, forward, util? Is that?
Yeah, guard, forward, util, yeah.
I don't think there was any other forward value, right? There wasn't anything that we were
Roddy, if you wanted to chance at 38.
I don't think we need to. Especially if we're not going Davis, I don't think we need to go Roddy.
Okay.
Right? Like
I don't. Roddy gets us $7,000 for a guard in the utility, which means we could potentially fit another high-priced guy.
Just don't feel great about Roddy not playing in the second half.
If we went Brandon Ingram and David Roddy, it's a $5,800 guard, which is Malcolm Brogdon.
I'm just not sold on Roddy. Okay. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's my
totally cool.
Like he was good for sure, but like what happened in the second half?
I have no idea.
That's where I'm getting hung up.
All right, let's do. Do we have another value down here? Let's see. Collins. Did you want to do John Collins?
Yeah, I don't know what to make. I have no idea what to make of John Collins, but game environment's very good. So I'm gonna look to see if it just feels like Collins is probably gonna be popular, right? Just like considering where we are with value.
Yeah.
There isn't a ton unless the Caruso, like if Caruso was ruled out, I would feel pretty good about Kobe White being a value. Early projections for ownership.
Yeah.
Ricky Rubio is the most popular value guard on our value play this. Who played 20 minutes last game.
Is somebody going to be out for Cleveland tonight that we don't know?
No. That's just people not having value, essentially. Right? That's just like the masses saying what we're saying.
Okay.
I think that's just them saying, like, we don't have value plays to use. Also, we didn't mention Kevon Looney 5,100.
Okay, yeah.
I would play Kevon Looney 51. Not like in this lineup. I'm just saying we did not mention him.
All right, what about this? So I threw Klay Thompson in.
Okay.
So Trae Young, Desmond Bane, Cedi Osman, Jonathan Kuminga, Evan Mobley, Klay Thompson, John Collins, Malcolm Brogdon. It gives us It gives us 2 Warriors, 2 Hawks. Brogdon's our util, Mobley, and Osman and Bane. And it's $200 left over. If Tatum gets ruled out, obviously we can like change some things around. Could go down to
we'd go to Jaylen Brown. I mean, we'd 100%
go down. But like we can go down to Jaylen Brown because we can drop down to like Grant Williams or something like that, right? Yep. Or something. So, all right, Trae Young, Desmond Bane, Cedi Osman, Jonathan Kuminga, Evan Mobley, Klay Thompson, John Collins, Malcolm Brogdon is our fair and balanced lineup for today. If you have any questions, James will be in the playbook. We'll be in the Discord. Get us in there. Good luck. Talk to you guys on Monday.